Hi, this is Ansari Sama. So today we have Safiq Anwar with us. He did his MTech from IIT Bombay and he's pursuing his PhD from Khalifa University, which is in UAE. So we will discuss more about these opportunities about regarding PhD in abroad. So let's begin. Hi, Safiq. How are you?
Yes, hello Ansari. I'm fine, very good. How are you?
I am fine, Alhamdulillah. So can you introduce yourself, from where you did take any small journey about yourself?
Okay, so hello everyone. Myself Shafiq Anwar. So currently I'm doing my PhD from Khalifa University, UAE. I did my bachelor's in chemical engineering from Aligarh Muslim University. Then I joined IIT Bombay in 2017 for my master's, and then I completed in uh, 2020. And then after that, I joined a PhD in university. So.
So one more thing, like you did MTech in chemical only.
No, no. My master's was in metallurgical engineering and materials science. So basically, the MEMS department at IIT Bombay is interdisciplinary. So it's most of the students are either from chemical or mechanical. So it's mostly an
And,
interdisciplinary branch
and now you're pursuing PhD in which specialization?
in chemical engineering. I'm pursuing my
Okay.
PhD.
So one more question strike, like you did masters from IIT Bombay, and why you prefer Gulf countries only, like UAE, or get applied in these countries? Why not some other countries? What are the opportunities are there which is strict with this
Okay.
UAE?
Okay. So actually, when I was in my last third, at the end of third semester, the placements was going on, the preparation of the placements. So my interest was quite toward the research. So because that IIT is, like most of the job are towards the data science and analytics job. So I was not so much fond of this. I was very much inclined toward the research field. Then I started looking for PhDs. At the time, the this COVID situation just started to rise, and it was quite a tough time to find a PhD. I applied at Monash University, Australia, and I also applied at IIT Bombay PhD, and then I applied at Khalifa University. So at the Monash, actually the problem was that the scholarship, so I didn't get the scholarship. And at ITB, I got the admission. Then I also got the admission at Khalifa University. Then after looking the both aspect, why I joined here is the main reason I think it is quite a new universities, but they are providing a very good amount of like scholarship. The if there is a no fee, is no fee here, and you're also getting paid around you can see 10,000 uh, this UAE dirham. So it would be around 2 lakhs Indian rupees per month. So it is quite handsome amount of money you are getting while you are doing PhD. So it was quite an attractive one, and there are a lot of students are coming from my batch and also the different IITs. They are also applying now because also this ranking of this university is quite good. Like it's up to around IIT Bombay. Like IIT Bombay ranking now is like 170, and this university is like US ranking is 180 something. So it's very much comparable. So I think why not you just go abroad? So that's thing.
So, while applying for abroad university, we require some exams like IELTS, GRE. So, which is a compulsory exam in UAE, or you can say that in the Gulf countries
So
to get
well,
into
if
PhD.
I'll specifically mention, if I'll say about my university, Khalifa University, you need both. Like you need IELTS or TOEFL, anyone English test, and the GRE. These both are compulsory here. So you need to go with these two tests. One is the IELTS and then the GRE.
One more question is while applying for abroad university, they generally see the profile, like what you did in MTech and what you did in BTech. So how you build your profile during your MTech? Like, have you did any course or anything in your internship so that you get build a strong profile so that the foreign university will accept your PhD recommendation?
Okay, so it's nice question. It's like actually when you're applying for PhD, one of the main what you say, the main aspect. of your getting a PhD in abroad is your profile, especially the way you do your master's project. And one of the main reason is that how your supervisor give this recommendation letter. And the most important part is like if you able to publish your work, at least not in a journal or at least in a conference, then it would be very beneficial. So fortunately, I did publish a paper in one of the one conference there in India itself. So I think the building of your profile is very must. You need a good CGPA. But these are like nowadays it's like every student, most of the students are getting a good CPA like 8.5 above. So one of the major selection criteria is your profile, your research profile. If you did your master's project well, you can publish a paper and then it would be very beneficial.
And the other next question is like in UAE, which other universities are there apart from Khalifa University, so that one can find out which is a good one, like, because in India we know, but there.
Okay, okay. So in UAE, mainly the two universities very good. Like one is United Arab Emirates University, and this is the Khalifa University. Khalifa is the what is the most noble one because here a lot of IIT students, like most of the students, they are after PhD both. I met a lot of senior here from IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi. They are doing postdoc here. So yeah, Khalifa and then this United Arab Emirates University. Both the universities quite well here.
And what is the average duration of the PhDs? Like in India, it's a 5 years. So there, what is the duration in general duration of PhD?
Okay, so in general, if you talk about it is a 4 year here, 4 year program. So in UAE, it's mostly the 4 year program in PhD, and it's almost like everyone completed is 4 year. So it's not an issue here. If you come here, it's like PhD is quite a smooth process here because in first year you will actually have like your all courses done, then you'll be allotted a project, and within 3 years will be completed. So most of the students, like even 90-95%, they finish their PhD in 4 years here. So not an big issue.
So while applying for PhD in Khalifa University, so what is the procedures are there? Like we have to apply through website, or we have to approach the professors. Like no, there are various ways are there. We have to first meet with the professor, and we have to send and take LOR and SOPs, and then show him the interest that I am interested in the research area. So what is the procedure for Khalifa University? Because this is was a general in other part of the country.
Okay, so I'll start my I will just say my journey, what I did. So first, I contacted one professor here that the area in which I was interested to work on. So I contacted him. He replied that okay, I sent him the CV and I write one email that this professor I'm interested in this area and you are working on that. So I just want to work with you. So he replied positively. Okay, nice, your profile is good. Just let's apply at Khalifa University and just at the in the Khalifa University in the application form one there's a mentioning of one if you contacted any professor before applying. So there was one column, so he told me just fill my name there. So these things, so first you need to reach the professor. If they agree, there is a very good chance to get into the university. Otherwise there is not a compulsory this thing. You can go directly, you just apply, and after that you can choose a professor. So it's because I also one of my friend is there in mechanical, so he didn't he didn't contact any professor. He directly applied and he got. So it's not like in very much any single way you but yeah, it most preferable if you just contact you any professor and then you apply. Yeah, then there is one procedure the SOPs, the stated statement of purpose, and then research statement. These two documents are very much important. So you should write very carefully your statement of purpose and then research statement. And so these things are there. Or and other these things are quite normal. You have to upload your mark sheets and any paper you have this thing. So it's
Any consultancy requirement is there? Do you feel like most of your friends also apply for PhD abroad? Not might be not in Gulf, but in other part of the countries, other countryside. So
Mhm.
any consultancy is required because some consultancy are paying very high fees. So is there any one can do a self like applying for PhD?
Yeah. If you are very much keen to get in the PhD, you are self-aware about yourself. So you need to, if you are doing by yourself, it would be very good. Because if you are using in consultancy, it is not you actually. Because if you build your profile, you have just gone through your profile, you know very well. If you fake it now, and they will catch you in the interview anyhow.
Okay, so one more thing is like, what are the career opportunities are there in after PhD? Like, because mostly in UAE it's an oil segment area is there, like no oil
Hmm.
industries are there. So after completion of PhD, like we have to go to the back to the academics, or we can go for like industry job profile also, R&D profile also job, or any postdoc is there. So this is a general, but what are the major opportunities are there?
So actually, you can't tell with the surety. So after PhD, you have many opportunities depend on your interest. You can either go for PhD here, sorry, postdoc here or abroad, or either you can join and you can just approach any company, or you can send your CVs and go into the industries like proper industries. So it's not like a single way. You can uh, just it's all depend on your interest where you want to go. If you want to go into academia, you need to do a postdoc before just applying for any assistant professor post. So you can join here also the postdoc, and then either you can go to any European or American and just go 2 3 years postdoc and then go on. If you want to apply for any assistant professor job, then you can go.
Okay. So, but like, even in the industries, there is opportunities are there, like because okay, one more question I strike, like which for which area, like of area of specialization, like chemical, petroleum, or for mechanical, Gulf countries is good
Mhm.
for PhD.
Gulf, sorry.
Which for which area of specialization, Gulf countries will be good for doing PhD.
Okay, it's not like a fixed area because the chemical is like traditionally the Gulf countries are known for their oil and gas, but it's not like that. When I come here, there's a lot of research are going on in sustainable, mainly in this the solar sectors and also the mechanical AI. So there's now it's like a very widespread of work are going on. It's not like oil and gas. Now they are also shifting their economy to oil and gas to more sustainable way. So it's not like that it is mainly focused on oil and gas. There's a lot of opportunity mainly for mechanical, chemical, and then computer science also, guys. Mainly the AI and all stuffs.
And one more question, like, will we get, like, suppose if one did PhD in UAE, so like permanent
Mhm.
residency PR after working some years, what are the criteria is there for getting PR?
Okay. So for actually the problem with all the GCC country, Gulf countries like Saudi, UAE, Oman, Qatar, the problem with these Arab countries are that they didn't give any permanent residency. So either if you're working here, you will get a visa from your stipulated duration. That just like I'm doing PhD, I got my visa for like residency visa for like 3 years. If it will be got extended, then they will extend for another 1 year, so it will be 4 year. And it is be not like that in European countries that after 5 years, 6 years you will apply for permanent residency. In the Arab countries, not like that. You will not get any permanent residency. Yes, they started one new visa category for like 10-year residency visa, golden visa. But yeah, but it's not like any PR type of thing that you got PR then you don't need a visa. In Arab countries, you whatever you're doing, you need a visa here.
So one more thing, like for applying, is any initial investments, like you told the tuition fee is absolutely free, right? So there
Yes,
is any other
yes, we
we
have.
have to pay from our own pocket apart from that, like living fees or cost of like living there, or it will be covered from
No,
like
no,
whatever the
nothing.
stipend.
Actually. No, no, no. Actually, they give a stipend around 12,000 gross. And in the 12,000, the hostels have actually when I joined, the stipend was like 10,000. But now they exceeded this. Now the stipend is 12,000 dirham, and the hostel fee is free. And if you are married or if you are with family, then uh, you can just come out, just take a room outside, and then you can just pay by your own. But if you are living in the hostel, there is no hostel fee for PhD students. So 12,000 at your pocket, and just you have to spend for your just food and all stuff, whatever. So also here the food is not so costly. You will just maintain is like 1,000 dirham is enough for your whole month food. So actually the 10,000, 11,000 is your saving.
Okay, means we can around if you are getting 12,000 dirham, so we can save 11,000 dirham each month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, good one. So one more thing, like what you will recommend it to those who will be applying, like for the PhD in Gulf countries, like what should they do, like because most of the people are now in first year, or might be they will be taking
Mm-hmm.
admission in the 2021. So what will be a recommendation who are looking for PhD in Gulf only? They want to do a PhD in Gulf only. So what will be your suggestion for them?
Okay, so main suggestion would be like first focus on your project. You need to do your project very well because in the interview they mostly ask about your master's project, how you did, why you did this, everything, lot of questions. So you have to do your master's project very well. Then just try to publish a paper at least in conference or any journal. So you need to just talk about this thing with your supervisor at your institute wherever you are doing your PhD.
Okay, any requirement is there like number of conference, a journal paper, or like some limitation? Like one is sufficient
Wherever
or
you are
two?
doing you the part where you will do your masters. So main thing is that yes,
No?
yeah, hello.
Yeah. So the question is like, is any limitation is there like a number of research paper or number of conference paper? Like you select at least one
Hmm.
paper or there is some two, three also. Or any at least one should have like a minimum paper because most of the people who are from a state university college or they find very difficult to publish at least one paper also because of insufficient career path like no. So for them,
So the main thing is that if you after completing a master, if you don't have any paper or like you feel that I don't have much research for, so I recommend anyone to just join any just like IITs or NITs, do your like research associate position they actually open a JRF. Just do
yeah,
there
yeah,
like
yes.
6 months, 6 months, 1 year. So if you didn't get any job after masters or they just go into that like research assistant JRF and just work there for just like 1 year and try to publish a paper. You will also have 1 year experience and one paper, then it would be very beneficial. You will get your PhD anywhere in the world. Because for PhD, like one of the major thing in getting a PhD is your research work, mostly solely on your research work. Even if your CGPA is low and if you have one paper, it's enough. So actually they actually see how you did your master's project, how is your research profile. So getting a PhD is this is the most vital thing.
Okay. One more thing, like apart from UAE, you had told that you had applied for
Hmm.
PhD in Australia, also Monash University. So you know
Yeah,
regarding the how you applied, like other some procedure of getting off because in Australia, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you can tell a
So
small
act
bit there. So we will cover
okay,
up this
so
also.
uh, in Australia also you need to before application you can't apply to Australia University without any invitation letter. So for the applying to that Australian university you need an invitation letter for your PhD. So you need to contact any professor there, agree you to just give an invitation letter. This professor send you an invitation letter, then this invitation letter need to upload it with your application. So this is the first thing. First you have to approach any professor. Then if he will agree, like he will see your CV and all, And if he'll agree that okay, you are good, you can apply, then he or she will send you an invitation letter. For me, that was the case. I contacted one professor at Monash. She agreed to send me she sent me an invitation letter. I applied it. But yeah, there is a competition in a scholarship, mainly in the Australian or any, you can see na, in any European or anywhere. The problem is that the scholarship.
Okay, one last question and we will wind up. Like, no, most of the people while pursuing MTech, they're always confused like where to do your PhD. Whether to go for USA, some Canada, European countries, Gulf countries, Eastern countries like Japan or Australia
Mhm.
might be some. So almost a confusion was there among the student community. So, what points are
Mm.
there so that the confusion can be, you can reduce this confusion among
Okay,
the
okay.
students?
So first I will say that regard that if you are willing to do a PhD, first you have to consider your your interest, which field you want to do a PhD. So university is only most not actually a matter. It's all depend on your professor under whom you are doing your PhD. What is the research profile? This research group how they are doing. So first you need to shortlist that. It could be from any country like USA, Australia, anything like, because just I recommend any master student, first you in your third semester or fourth semester, before fourth semester you just give your IELTS and GRE. You should finish these two things, so that after, if you have these two things now, you can apply anywhere else. Somewhere need only IITs, someone needs both, someone need only GRE. So it's like you should be prepared this both thing before applying to anywhere else. And then you shortlist university upon your interest. Like if you are doing a research in solar, you need to shortlist because you read the papers now, you read the research articles, you know the which are the professor are doing this work in your area. You need to contact them. It could be from USA, Australia, anywhere else. It doesn't matter, because you need to do research here. If you do your research well, na, you can go anywhere else after that. It's not like that. If you go to USA, you are set and you don't need anything. It's not like that. It's all depend on your work. So first you need to shortlist it, the area where you want to work on. Just shortlist the professor. It could be from any country, maybe one university, two university from USA, two from Australia, and then you start to contact them. Because if you send an email, if you email 50 professor, you'll get only reply from four or five. It happens. It's general trend, because everyone is busy. So first you give these two exams, IELTS and then GRE. After that you start shortlisting the professor in the university and then start sending the emails. Most probably you'll get any just reply back and then apply to that universities. It's like that.
And continue with this question, for example, if anyone selected on robotics area or any area like related to chemical anything, so you have to first find the
Hmm.
which professor are working in which part of the country, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so the country doesn't matter, whether he is pursuing if any European country which is not sound known as here the university also, there also he find his
So
one professor working.
there actually it's depend on your like thinking now. Some people are like they thought I will do PhD. I have to settle that country. I don't want to come back to India. It's all depend on you. Actually, my thinking is not like that. I just want to complete my PhD with good repo, and then I will just I can come to the India also. It's depend on opportunities. So it's all depend on the thinking what the student are thinking. Maybe someone are thinking that I have to settle outside. So he is just actually looking for European or US country where the after 4 5 years you will get your residency, permanent residency and all that. So it's all depend on person to person what you are planning in future. So for me, I was very open. I can also come to India. I can also go anywhere in Europe or anywhere else. So it's all depend on the person who are applying for.
Okay. So the final remark, what you want to say, then we will wind up this session.
Okay, so at the end, I just want to conclude that if you are looking for PhD, just start to build your research profile. Just try to build your profile at a more core sort of thing. You can just uh, you can also do any short courses on like Coursera and everything. It's all depend. It should be from your domain, and try to build your research profile. Try to, it's like in your thesis, try to just just come up with the one paper, at least one conference paper, and then you have to just good reputation with the professor so that he can just, you have to talk about like two or three professors. You need two, at least two recommendation letter. So this thing is also very much like vital things in your PhD. Then after that, you just finish your this IELTS and GRE, and then start searching for like PhD. Just contact the professor, and hopefully you will get it. Like it's PhD. If you just sum up with all that, now the PhD is actually depend on your research profile, mostly on research profile. If you have any paper, if you have any experience in like JRF or anything, you can easily get a PhD abroad, because the CGPA is, I think, with my experience, I'm telling, it's not depend on CGPA actually. Yeah, it's need like it should be like above 8.5, and if you have a like good research profile, it should be enough, and inshallah you'll get it anywhere.
Okay. So thank you so much for coming here and sharing your experience.